All right, so Tinykin is a platformer that uses a Pikmin gimmick. I guess like Pikmin doesn't have like a specific genre like to itself. It's a Pikmin style mechanic that we've seen games use over the years. And it's this super pleasant, chilled out collectathon platformer that's got this kind of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, or I guess It Takes Two vibe to it now, where you're this tiny little guy running around the house. Each biome is split into the different rooms in the house, and you have these little Tinykin creatures, and there's like different colored versions that do different things. So the red Tinykin, they explode and you can use them to create new pathways to get to places. The green Tinykin, you can use them to stack on top of each other and you can use them to climb to higher places. The yellow ones you can use to create bridges, so you can then use like the purple ones which carry things, and then you can use that to do like whatever your objectives are. And it's just one of those games where like every kind of corner of the world has something to collect, which means that you're always being rewarded for discovering and exploring. And it's, for me, I would say it's the best 3.5-star game that I will play this year. It's such a pleasant experience from beginning to end that doesn't outstay its welcome. Doesn't go too crazy with the gimmick and the mechanic. Like, they probably could do so much more with it, but they have like the lane that they go down and they stick with it, and they nail the landing. There's probably room there to do so much more if they wanted to, if they had like the resources or whatever. But it's just a super charming, fun, like 4 to 5 hour experience that is on Phil Spencer's Game Pass. And just if you want just a kind of an easy afternoon playing something that you can kind of switch off and just to explore this world, like there's no enemies, there's no obstacles. The worst thing you can do is like your guy doesn't like water, so other than that, there's nothing that's trying to kill you. And, there's like one scenario where...
Can you use the Tinykin as a bridge, by the way, to get over water?
No, but they're, for the most part, like anywhere where there is water, you can either jump over it or you can glide over it. So,
I see.
Yeah.
The little things, like, that look kind of like little versions of the Reddit man, a little bit, almost.
There's a little bit of that,
yeah. Are insanely cute.
It has an adorable kind of factor to it in terms of the visual design, for sure. And I really like as well that it blends 2D and 3D together in a really kind of effective way, where like a lot of the world is built out in 3D, but your character and the Tinykin are all 2D characters. That's all like Paper Mario style, where if they turn left and right, they kind of flip the avatar of the character around. Okay. And just a really kind of like charming experience. That is it's just an easy recommendation,
Would you say it's like, you said it's obviously like a few hours, 3 or 4 hours. Would you say that you would want a bit more, or does that feel like about the right length?
No, I think the game is absolutely the right length, because I think that for it to expand it out to be longer, it would have to introduce some other mechanic or something, even I guess just another kind of form of the Tinykin. And if it didn't do that and it just gave you another level but made you use just the things that you already have, it would then start to outstay its welcome. The ending is a bit abrupt, but whatever. So I would go for more of it, but it would just have to keep like adding new mechanics where I just don't think they had the resources to do that. So no, I think it ends right where it needs to. And I don't say 3.5 as like some sort of disparagement to it. Like it's a strong 3.5.
Okay, cool. I think for a couple of hours I definitely want to have a look at that and check in, just because looking at the screenshots and the visual style of the game, it looks amazing. So
yeah, and there is some the story is whatever, but in terms of like just kind of the world building and the characters, like you've got there's a scenario where there's like a party, like a kind of beach house party that's happening in the bath, but because none of the things are turned on, like you have to go and like find like bubble bath to knock it into the bath to get like a foam party going. You have to get the music, and then like at the end of it you've got like ants and silverfish and spiders. They're all dancing as part of like this kind of big sort of like college break, like in Florida sort of scenario. And there's another thing as well where there's like some kind of like, I don't know if it's like a political disagreement between the silverfish and the ants or something. And like the way to resolve it is you have to basically is bake a cake. So you have to go around the kitchen and find all of the ingredients, put them into a mixer, put it into the oven, and then make a cake, and then everyone's happy. So it's it's charming. It's very charming.
Much like late 80s football managers and making cakes in that game, the solution is get it in the mixer. That's what you're saying.
It's very much yes.
Okay, nice.